Thoughts about today's game?
I thought defense was the name of the game. I thought from the end of the first quarter going into the second, and then again coming out of halftime, our defense was what really got us going in terms of just the excitement and the energy on the bench, as well as getting out and being able to get some shots in transition. The first half, we struggled a little bit in transition with knocking those baskets in, but in the second half, we did a much better job of executing what we wanted to do in terms of defensive stops and then getting out and running and forcing Bowie to, have to be able to run with us.
Would you say that third quarter was probably one of the most dominant quarters you played this year, 20-3, and I don't think they scored a single bucket?
Absolutely. I think that that's something that this team is quite capable of. We've held teams under 10 multiple times in different quarters. I think today was the second game in a row maybe that we've held teams to under 10 in different quarters. And so we just have to be consistent about that on a quarter-by-quarter basis and make sure anybody that's coming into the rotation has that same mentality when they get on the court as well.
For you three, this is the last time you got to play Bowie at home. Unfortunately, it wasn't the full capacity that you used, but talk about, a rivalry game with fans in the stands and coming away with a win.
We always want to give our crowd, something to, always come back to. So definitely giving them the energy that they need to, get us pumped up, get us going. Especially during a rivalry game, we never want to, give our opponent the benefit of the doubt of trying to think they're still in the game with us. And that feeds energy into our crowd, having them, I wouldn't want to say like taunting them, but like getting them amped up, cheering with us on the bench, defense, you could hear it definitely in the live stream, being, loud and everything like that.
And also just understanding how crucial this last run is for us, Like she said, we just want to put a show on for our fans because as it is, time is winding down for us with our last couple of home games. So, we just want to give our fans what they come to look for. And that's what we are. We're the show.
I mean, Jay, this was your one and only shot. Did it live up to all the hype?
Yeah, it's definitely, my first experience with the rivalry game here at Lincoln because last year it got taken away due to COVID. So the atmosphere was great. It's always, fun to play in an atmosphere like that. So I definitely think we had fun today. It definitely showed, and support is a big thing that this community shows to the basketball team. So it's great to have everybody come out and support us.
The two things that you've done well when you are playing well is offensive rebounds and get out in transition. And I think you did both of them pretty well today.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. We finished the game. I think we definitely had double-figure offensive rebounds, but I know for a fact that we did a good job of getting those transition buckets that we talk about on a frequent basis. Once we're over 15, 16, usually we're pretty solid when we're forcing teams into turning the ball over as well. I think we forced 25 turnovers today, and a lot of those being live ball turnovers. That's what we want. It's one thing that they turn the ball over and you get an opportunity. It's a whole other thing when it's a live ball turnover and you've got an opportunity to score quickly.
Not only was this a rivalry game, this is probably pretty key as now gives you a 2-game lead in front of Bowie with the sweep. When a loss here and now you're in a tie, you're in a head-to-head tie and anything can go. Do you think about those as, I know it's one game at a time, but do you think about those when it's time for that game?
As coaches, we stare at the standings for hours and hours as if the standings are going to change on a day that we're not even playing basketball. But yeah, you're looking at it. You're trying to get it figured out at this point now. We have 4 games left in the regular season. So yeah, coaches are looking at that and seeing what the seedings are going to look like, what the potential pairings are going to look like once we start getting into the tournament. But at the end of the day, we can only control what we can control, which is the first game that's in front of us, and that's the most important one. And so being able to take care of the business on our end, keep the most important thing, that's the biggest thing.
Bree, Joe, you talked about unfinished business, and it's starting to wind down. What are your thoughts as you get to, 4 regular season games, 2 of which are at home?
The only thing on my mind is just completing the goal. Every day in practice, our coaches tell us play as if it's your last because you never know when it could be taken from you. And consider all 3 of us, we were here last year. We only got to play a couple of games, and then when it was time for conference time to come, they took away our season. So there's no, just taking every game as if it's your last and not taking it for granted. You know, just having a championship mindset. We are the team that is being hunted right now, but every day we have to be on top of everything, whether it's in practice, in film, whether it's in individuals. It doesn't matter what it is. We just have to be on top of everything because we know everybody's coming for what we want, but we just have to stay in 10 toes on what we want as well and just stay disciplined.
I mean, unfinished business, just like she said, knocking down each goal one game at a time. Definitely playing our hardest and giving it our all every time we step on the floor because, like she said, you just never know when the season could just be taken away from us. But definitely going into the CIAA tournament, just focus on what we need to do.
Coach Jay, want to let any final thoughts?
On to the next.